As we become more concerned about the environmental impact of harvesting and mining new resources, recycling is becoming more important in everyday life. Governments are banning things like beverage containers and electronic waste from their landfills. Recycling not only keeps useful materials out of landfills, it's also a major contributor to energy conservation. Energy is saved by reducing the energy demands associated with acquiring raw materials, then transporting and processing them into usable materials. One British Columbian company has made it their business to be in the forefront of the recycling revolution. EnCorp Pacific Canada is a not-for-profit product stewardship corporation. Their primary mission is to collect from consumers and return for recycling used beverage containers on behalf of more than 300 beverage brand owners. This chart shows the percent of energy savings realized when recycled material is used versus virgin inputs. For example, the savings with aluminum is 92%, glass is the least, and that's still an impressive 34% savings. In total, EnCorp's activities in 2012 contributed to the reduction of about 94,000 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent being released into the atmosphere. That's equal to taking 26,000 vehicles off the road for a year. EnCorp operates under a set of basic principles: to develop and operate a system which provides consumer-friendly and convenient return points throughout the province, to manage the system in a cost-effective manner that has the lowest impact on consumer shelf prices, to run a cost-based system in which each container type pays for its own costs with no cross-subsidization, to divert used products from landfill and incineration, to find usable end products which maximize the value of the recovered commodities, and to ensure that all brand owners are treated equitably. EnCorp has created one of the most respected and innovative beverage container recycling programs in North America. Let's take a quick look at how that came about. EnCorp Pacific was established in 1994 to create and set up a province-wide network of recycling depots. They were designed to make it easier for customers to return containers for recycling. EnCorp saw to it that the containers were recycled into useful materials. In the first 4 years, 125 depots were established. 1998 was a significant year. EnCorp's mandate increased when the provincial government expanded the deposit regulation. In the beginning, EnCorp only handled carbonated soft drinks, which were packaged in aluminum, bimetal, plastic, and glass containers. The new legislation expanded the deposit regulation to include water, juice, and alcohol. This added 200 new producers and multiplied the number of container types in the system. Drink boxes, cartons, pouches, and bag-in-a-box were added to the list of containers accepted at return at depots. Consumers now paid a deposit on all ready-to-drink beverage containers. The deposit is refunded to the consumer when the container is returned for recycling. For containers up to and including 1 liter, the deposit amount is 5 cents on non-alcohol beverages. For alcohol beverage containers, the deposit amount is 10 cents. For containers larger than 1 liter, the deposit amount is 20 cents for both non-alcohol and alcohol containers. A new governance structure was put into place and 25 new return at depots opened. Also, a $1.5 million annual consumer awareness program was launched. In 2001, EnCorp became the service provider to the BC Liquor Distribution Branch for liquor containers. In 2006, they became the service provider for milk and electronics. In 2007, they were appointed the stewardship agency by the Beverage Alcohol Containers Management Council. 100% industry-owned and operated, EnCorp receives no government funding. So who finances the Return It system? Everyone in British Columbia who purchases a beverage that comes in a container, and the producers of those beverages. EnCorp's board of directors consists of representatives of the beverage and retail grocery industries, as well as unrelated directors with no affiliation to either industry. The board places a high priority on following the governance model based on TSX guidelines for publicly listed companies in Canada. EnCorp Pacific follows the highest standards of public accountability and transparency. EnCorp combines private sector efficiencies with a high degree of public sector transparency and accountability. This transparency provides the public and all interested parties with information about its mission, key objectives, operational and financial performance, as well as consumer awareness and educational programs. The unique structure of EnCorp allows the corporation to concentrate on managing collection and recycling programs for end-of-life products and packaging without government involvement or the diversion of revenues, while balancing stakeholder and consumer interests. Revenues are made up of unredeemed deposits, the sale of collected materials, and container recycling fees. Expenses cover deposit refunds, handling fees, transportation and processing, consumer awareness and education, and administration. EnCorp adheres to the principles for product stewardship. Costs are covered by consumers of products and not downloaded to local governments or taxpayers. All producers are treated equitably, with no cross-subsidization of container or product types. The goal is continuous improvement. Financial statements are independently audited and publicly available. There are more than 170 Return-It depots and collection sites forming a comprehensive, province-wide network. The modern Return-It depot is clean, bright, and open with convenient areas for customers to prepare their containers for recycling. The point-of-return computer shows customers their exact refund. Depots have demonstrated a high level of speed and efficiency in dealing with large numbers of containers returned by a growing stream of customers. Return-It depots are independently owned and operated, providing services under contract to EnCorp. EnCorp pays a container handling fee to depots and grocery retailers for collecting containers. They also pay a transport fee to the transporters and a processing fee to the processors. EnCorp itself does not make a profit. 100% of the collected material that comes into the Return-It system is recycled into new, usable products. Return-It is a cost-effective system that recovers 80% of the beverage containers sold in British Columbia and ensures that they are recycled and not incinerated or sent to the landfill. This program also includes the management of the recovery of wine, spirits, and any non-refillable glass alcohol containers. Return-It Milk is a voluntary BC Dairy Council program operated by EnCorp through Return-It depots throughout British Columbia. Because no deposit is paid when the milk is purchased, no deposit is refunded. The program recycles all empty milk, cream, and milk substitutes like soy and rice beverage containers, cartons, and plastic jugs. Cartons include both poly-coated and paperboard containers like drink boxes, aseptic, and gable-top cartons. Recycled products can be found everywhere in a variety of goods and uses. Here are a few examples of how your old beverage containers are converted into new and valuable products. Virtually all recycled aluminum cans are made back into new beverage containers. About 50% of every aluminum can on store shelves is made from aluminum that has been recycled at least once. Plastic, primarily PET, polyethylene terephthalate, is cleaned and pelletized for use in a variety of new products, including beverage and other liquid product containers. Glass is crushed for use in new bottles, building insulation, construction products, and sandblasting medium. Polycoat containers are pulped, and the high-quality paper fiber is removed for use in toilet tissue, cardboard boxes, and other paper products. Return-It Electronics is a province-wide, end-of-life electronics recycling program available to all consumers and businesses in British Columbia. Electronic waste contains valuable resources such as metals that should be processed and recycled in a safe and environmentally sound manner. It can also contain potentially hazardous materials that could pose environmental problems in our landfills. This program ensures that obsolete electronic components and electronic scrap are not exported to developing nations such as those that are not members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. EnCorp has been contracted by the Electronic Products Recycling Association to develop and manage this system. Regulated products can be dropped off at designated collection locations without charge and recycled responsibly. EnCorp is committed to continuous improvement. A significant communications budget is dedicated annually towards education and awareness. Province-wide market research tracks awareness and profiles consumer behaviors and attitudes. The data helps to create targeted media campaigns and programs using a variety of media: television, radio, print, and interactive. NCorp also continues to undertake new initiatives to address niche markets and specialized circumstances. For example, NCorp's Innovative Public Spaces program encourages people to recycle while out and about enjoying BC's parks and cities. The BC elementary and high school recycling programs promote the recycling of beverage containers to schools. Prizes are awarded and the deposit refund is often used for school fundraising opportunities. NCorp has also developed strong partnerships with charities like the Salvation Army and United Way. NCorp is the leader among industry product stewardship agencies in its interaction with the public and with all levels of government and in the transparency of its operations. Today, NCorp can take pride in the billions and billions of containers that didn't end up in landfills, but were instead recycled into useful materials, and the millions and millions of British Columbians who are now making recycling a part of their everyday life. Learn more about NCorp Pacific at ncorp.ca.